In 1996, 15-year-old Danielle "Danny" Hutchins was a high school student in Belgrade, Montana, full of life and promise. One day she went missing. Soon after, her body was discovered near the East Gallatin River. She had been raped and murdered, a violent act that shocked the small, tight-knit community and left neighbors in fear. Investigators quickly gathered DNA evidence from the scene, but the technology of the mid-1990s wasn't advanced enough to reveal the killer's identity. Each lead they chased dried up. The case, though one of the state's most high-profile, went cold. For nearly 28 years, Danny's family lived without answers. Detectives would revisit the evidence again and again, but no suspect ever emerged. The DNA was preserved, and though it offered a glimmer of hope, every attempt to match it against CODIS, the National DNA Database, returned empty. It became a symbol of the agony faced by families of cold case victims, having powerful evidence but no name to attach it to. For nearly 3 decades, Danny's family carried only grief and questions. In the late 90s, detectives ran her killer's DNA through CODIS again and again. The answer was always the same: no match. Whoever did this had vanished into the shadows, untouched by the justice system. The case froze, time pressing in like ice. But in 2021, hope flickered back to life. Investigators tried a bold new method: forensic genetic genealogy. At first, the results seemed meaningless. Tiny matches to strangers scattered across America. But those faint strands began to weave a story. Slowly, a family tree appeared. At the end of every branch stood one man, Paul Hutchinson. The deeper detectives looked, the worse it felt. Hutchinson had been in Belgrade in 1996, the year Danny was killed. He matched the profile, and science confirmed it. His bloodline tied him to the DNA left on her body. When detectives approached him in 2023, Hutchinson must have realized the game was over. Days later, he took his own life. Forensic scientists then secured his DNA directly. The test was run. The result was final. It was him. And that year, law enforcement finally announced that the case was solved. It was a bittersweet resolution. Hutchinson would never stand trial, but for Danny's family, at last, there was truth. Her mother described the outcome as both heartbreaking and healing. Heartbreaking because justice could never play out in court. Healing because they finally knew who had stolen her daughter's life, and because he would never hurt anyone else again. Danny's case was solved at last, 28 years after her death. Justice would never come in a courtroom, but the truth had been spoken, and maybe that was justice enough. Nearly 3 decades after her death, the case remains one of Montana's greatest true crime cases. It is remembered for the pain of its long silence, the triumph of cutting-edge forensic science, and the bittersweet justice of a name finally revealed.